Our theme this week was back to school. And sorry guys, we only had one video this week, but later in today's show, we're going to look at vocabulary and more phrasal verbs for back to school. But first, I'd like to give you some quiz questions about last week's theme, which was work-life balance. And your first quiz question is, Bob went on vacation last weekend, so I had to what a lot of extra work. Run out, step back, take on, or set aside. That's right, our answer is Bob went on vacation last week, so I had to take on a lot of extra work. If you take on more work or extra work, you accept or start a new task or responsibility. Your second quiz question is, I've been working so hard. I'm starting to what of energy? Run out, step back, take on, or set aside. That's right, it's I've been working so hard, I'm starting to run out of energy. If you run out of something, you use all of that thing. In this case, you use or run out of all of your energy. Question number 3 is, I need to what some time to relax a little? Run out, step back, take on, or set aside. That's right, it's I need to set aside some time to relax a little. If you set aside some time, you reserve or save that time for a specific purpose. And your final quiz question is, YouTube is so much stress. I think I'll what and take a day off. Run out, step back, take on, or set aside. That's right, it's YouTube is so much stress. I think I'll step back and take a day off. If you step back from something, usually a task or some kind of work, you remove yourself or oneself from a situation or activity. So I hope you did really well on those quiz questions. Those were phrasal verbs for work-life balance. Now, for the second part of today's show, I want to mention something that I studied with a private student this week, and then we can go back to school and our word of the week. And that thing is collocations. Collocations are words that naturally go with other words. For example, we can't say make a party or do a party. That's a common error in English. We have to say have a party. It's true. We have to use the word have with parties. The word have is often used with different events. So now let's look at some collocations with the words do, make, go, have, and take. And then we'll do a little quiz. The first collocations are with do. And do is usually for general tasks, such as do my homework, do the laundry, or do chores. Our second group of collocations is with make, which is usually about producing a result. Make the bed, make a video, like right now, or make a phone call. And make a phone call is an exception. That means it's not like the others, but it's something we have to memorize. Next, let's look at collocations with go, which are usually about social activities with ing. Go dancing, go shopping, and our exception, go online. So, how often do you go dancing or go shopping? Let us know in the comments. Our next group of collocations are with have. And remember, have is usually about events. For example, have a party, have a good time, or have a lot of fun. Try to remember this one. It's a little tricky. And our final group is with take. And take doesn't really have much logic. We just have to memorize these. Take a day off, take a trip, or take a ride. And you can also say go on a trip. It's kind of the same thing. But if you take a trip, maybe you're taking a ride, taking a car ride, or taking a bike ride. So now let's see if you remember these collocations. And our first quiz is what the bed? That's right, it's make the bed. Our next one is what a good time. That's right, it's have a good time. Our next collocation is what a trip. That's right, it's take a trip. Our next collocation is what on a trip. Maybe you said this last time, but it's go on a trip. Our next collocation is what a video. That's right, it's make a video. Now we have what a day off. That's right, it's take a day off. Our next collocation is what bowling. That's right, it's go bowling. And now we have back to school. Let's take a break, and when we return, we'll look at the word of the week. See you there. And we're back. But before we start with the word of the week, I just want to remind you that this week I released PDF materials for my lessons that you can go download in the description right now. And I'm working on so many more, including a mini lesson about collocations for do or make. Now, I know maybe in your language those are the same words, but in English they're very different. In my mini lesson, you're going to be able to study the grammar, do the exercises, and check your answers. That's coming in a short time, so check back on the channel. It's almost ready. But now it's time for our theme of the week, which was back to school. And let's start with the word of the week, which is commute, which is a noun. Commute. Or the verb to commute. For example, I commute, she commutes, we commute. Let's read a story to see if you can understand the definition of the word commute. Jenny just started high school, and every day she has to commute by bus for 30 minutes. At first, she found the commute tiring, but soon she got used to it and started reading books on the way. So, my question for you is what is the definition of the word commute? To commute means to travel regularly between home and school or work. For example, I commuted to New York City from my home in New Jersey about 3 times a week to study to become an English teacher, and it was a great experience. I didn't mind at all. So now let's look at some examples. Michael's commute to school takes about 20 minutes by bike each morning. Sarah and her friend commute together by car to their college classes. Because of her long commute, Emma likes to listen to music or podcasts on the bus to make the trip more enjoyable. I have a question for you. Do you commute? And how often? How long is your commute? Do you like to commute or would you prefer to work or study from home? Answer that question and let's take a quick break. Then we'll study some phrasal verbs for back to school. See you there. I just made some coffee. We can't use do with the word coffee because we make or create our coffee. That's what I did because I love to drink coffee while I teach. So now let's start with our theme of the week, which is back to school. And you know that I love quizzes, so we're going to start with a quiz. And the first question is, I can't wait to what school? I can't wait to see my old friends. Sort out or head back to. That's right. It's I can't wait to head back to school. Head back means return to a place. Sort out is not possible here because sort out means to organize or arrange things. Quiz number 2 is it's a good idea to what the new material and go slow. Some students are still on summer vacation. Ease into or pick out. The answer is it's a good idea to ease into the new material and go slow. If you ease into something, you take it easy or you go slow. You kind of relax while you start something. Ease into means to slowly get used to or get accustomed to something new. Pick out is not possible here because pick out means to choose or select something. We're going to look at the verb pick out in just a moment. But our final quiz is right now we're going to what some other phrasal verbs and analyze them. Pick out or go over. That's right. It's right now we're going to go over some other phrasal verbs and analyze them. Go over means to examine and review something carefully or in detail. Again, we can't choose pick out because we already have our phrasal verbs. We're not going to choose them. I already chose them for you. And the first phrasal verb that I chose was pick out. What's the difference between pick out, and pick up? Well, in our lesson, our definition was to choose or select something. Let's go to the store and pick out some notebooks and pens. But look at this video. The clothes are in the closet. And because the opposite of in is out, the woman is picking them out of the closet. Pick really means this action here. This, this, this. So when we see our video of this woman, she's picking the clothes out of the closet. She picked the green shirt. Let's look at another video. In this video, we can see the woman is trying to pick out a shirt to try on. Which one will she pick? Oh, she picked out the pink shirt, and she's going to try it on. Again, she picked out the pink shirt out of that selection. If we can remember that pick is this action, we can really understand this verb a lot better. And the meaning of the word evolves, like in this video here, when we go to the supermarket. She's picking out some milk, but she's also picking it up. So in that context, we can understand that pick out, or pick up, pick up also means buy something. Go to the supermarket and pick up some milk. We don't need to say buy because we have the complete action of picking up the milk and, of course, paying for it. That's what we say. Our next verb to analyze is look through. I have to look through my old folders, which means to look at the different parts of something. One of my private students, who actually found me on this channel and watches my videos, asked me what the difference is between look through and look over. Well, remember from our last show that through means from point A to point B. We have a start and a finish. For example, this man is looking through the book. He's moving through the book to different points. But when we think of the word over, remember that over can mean above something. Like the plane or the bird is above the house. So in that sense, we can imagine we're covering something. Just like this video where this person is looking over the documents. This person is examining the documents, looking at all of the details. And in that sense, we can understand look over and look through. Remember, look through from point A to point B, but look over is from above. You're looking at the details. And the final verb we're going to analyze is check off. Why do we use the word off with check off? Because check off means to mark an item as completed. We can check them off the list when you order them. Well, in this video, you can see that this person is making check marks. They're checking some things on the paper. They're marking the paper. But in this video, you can see that they're checking different items. Items that are completed. they're checking these items off of the list because these items are on the list, but now they're completed. So the person again is checking them off of the list. And in this lesson, we only examined 3 phrasal verbs in detail, but as always, I recommend watching the original video to understand all 8 phrasal verbs a little better with the dialogues. Now, let's look at some other vocabulary for back to school. But again, I need a quick coffee break, and I'll see you there. And again, we're back. I didn't make coffee during this break because I already made it during the last break. But again, I really enjoy my coffee. And when I drink my coffee, one of my favorite activities is to go through or read through the comments that you guys leave on the channel. And one interesting comment stood out to me this week. So let's take a look at that comment. And it was from Martin Danham 4664, who writes, I was hoping you would make a back to school video. Thank you so much, John. Just an idea. Do you think you could make more school related videos, such as going on a field trip or participating in school events such as proms, etc.? Well, thank you for the comment, Martin, and I hope the rest of you will leave useful comments like that because I see them and they actually help me plan my videos. So let's look at some vocabulary words for Martin and for all of the rest of you, starting with going on a field trip. To go on a field trip means to travel with your class to a location outside of school for educational purposes, like a museum or historical place. That's something that children really look forward to when they go back to school. That's a big part of the school year. Our next vocabulary word is go to prom. To attend a formal dance event, usually for high school juniors and seniors, often marking the end of the school year. What is a junior and a senior in high school? Well, I made a list, and it starts with freshmen. Freshmen are first year high school students, and there are 4 years in American high schools. The second year is for sophomores. Sophomores. It's just a name for the student who's in their second year of high school. Juniors is the name of the students who are in their third year, and seniors are in their fourth or final year of high school. So, going to prom is only for juniors and seniors. Usually, mostly for seniors, but it's for both. It depends on the school. Our next vocabulary term is join a club. To become a member of a school group that meets regularly. And there are so many different types of school clubs, including chess club, drama club, the Gay Straight Alliance, or anime club, and there are many others. Our next vocabulary term is take a standardized test, which is a test that's given and scored in a consistent manner, used to assess students' performance across a specific region. Standardized tests are not just normal tests. Usually there are one or maybe two, maybe a few of them per year, and it's usually from the district. The entire school does the same type of test. That's a standardized test. The next term is receive a report card. A report card is a document that shows your grades for the term, reflecting your academic performance. In the United States, we receive report cards in elementary school, middle school, and high school after each marking period, usually every few months. There are usually 4 marking periods in a school year. So you receive 3 report cards and your final grades as the 4th marking period at the end of the year. Our next vocabulary term is attend or attending a parent teacher conference. This is a meeting where teachers discuss a student's progress with their parents. And it's optional but common for students to also attend these meetings with their parents and go over their progress. Our next vocabulary term is enter the science fair. That's a school event where students present scientific experiments or projects for evaluation. And it's usually some kind of competition, but not always. The most common experiment is the volcano experiment. That's a really popular experiment. The next one is go to a pep rally. A pep rally is a school event meant to build school spirit and enthusiasm, often before a big sports game. A pep rally is something that has a lot of energy, and it's generally fun for students. The next vocabulary term is compete in a spelling bee. This one is a little confusing. We're not talking about the insect, a bee. A bee is a really old word in English for competition. So this is a contest where students spell words out loud, competing to see who can spell the most correctly. There's only one winner. English is a really difficult language, even for us native speakers. We even have competitions to spell words correctly. Trust me, it's not easy, not even for us. Silent letters, and you guys, you understand, right? Our next term is plan a senior prank. And remember, a senior is a student in their final year of high school. This is to organize a funny or playful event done by graduating seniors, usually as a way of saying goodbye to the school. This usually happens in the last month, right before the graduation. And then we have get a yearbook. Get in this context means obtain. A book published by the school that includes photos and memories from the school year. Students often make it. The yearbook, again, shows the memories from that school year, and it's something you can keep for the rest of your life. Next, we have go to a graduation ceremony. A graduation ceremony is an event where students receive their diplomas, marking the completion of their education. This is, of course, high school. Our next one is go to your class reunion. This is years in the future. And a class reunion is a gathering of former classmates, often years after graduation, to reconnect and remember the good times. And that's it for this episode of the Everything English show. So thank you so much for watching. But before we go, don't forget to watch my other video about PDFs to learn English. In this lesson, I tell you all about my PDF materials, and there's even a special code in the lesson for you to go download a free PDF for this lesson. Remember, I'm dedicating myself to making a lot of PDFs for you guys about all different types of topics. So don't forget to check back and see those many lessons to help you improve even more. So thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.